this chapter of life? No. But what I can do, and what anyone can do, is what I like to call 5 minutes of joy. So whatever you absolutely love, or if you don't know what lights you up anymore at all, and you're like, what is going on? You can give yourself 5 minutes to experiment every day. Or if you know that music is your thing, do 5 minutes of that, or 5 minutes of art, or 5 minutes of that. And sometimes it'll roll over 5 minutes, but it's enough that you're giving yourself the gift of that every day to still stay in tune with what lights you up or find. And there are a lot of shifts and there are a lot of pivots going on right now. So I think what we're talking about is like the superpower of the current generation and the upcoming generation are those that can really know who they are and what they are capable of, because they may be asked to pivot into a different version of their talents or a different mindset in order to find where they fit and what's coming and what they can build, because now so much is available to build on your own as an entrepreneur, as a business, or like you got to go get it. You got to hustle, like, and you got to keep up with things moving fast. It's not like this cookie cutter. You go to school, you get the degree, you keep the job, things are stable. That's just not there anymore. You have to create the stability, and you have to have enough confidence in who you are to, one, market yourself that way, and two, to know that you can create the life that you really want. But do you find that true in the work that you do as well?
100%, yes. And in addition to the confidence, I want to throw in the word courage. And so courage is a big one. And it's also, I just want to reemphasize what you've said. It's what is for each person. So just a real simple example, when we moved from Wisconsin to Louisiana, I didn't know my neighbors in Wisconsin. I had never, I saw them, but I didn't really know their name. I didn't know anything about them. And we're down in Louisiana now. This is probably our forever home. We started our retirement early while we're still working. And I was like, I want to know who my neighbors are. Yeah. And so it's warm, so people are going to be out in their yard. And so I just decided, I'm like, okay, if I see someone outside, I'm going to walk up to them. I'm going to say, hi, my name is Connie. I just moved in. How long have you lived in Arnoldville? Now, for someone, they'd be like, courage? That doesn't take any courage. You just go talk to people. For me, that was huge, because wasn't that just walk up to someone person. Yeah. So what the definitions of all of these words, courage, confidence, what's right, who am I, really is within each person. Yeah. And I was chuckling when you were talking about the fitness and the diets, like what works for one person won't work for another, because we are all different. Okay. And my husband and I have had that conversation many times, many years ago. We don't discuss it anymore. We're different. But it's just it can be frustrating because they're here, they're doing this, they're all that external stuff. And I like to turn it back inward as well. And like, there's only one of me that ever was or ever will be or is on this planet right now.
Yep.
And there's only one Tiffany, and there's only one of my husband. And that just blows my mind to be so unique. And as we figure out what our skills are, what we want to do, not what society says we should do, but what lights me up, and then build the skills, the confidence, the courage to go, all right, how can I share this with the world? Because nobody else can do and be like me, which is
one
just
of
so
the
much fun.
big shifts that you just said is I should, or I have to, and flip it and say, I get to.
Yes.
One of the biggest moments I had was when I got to be a vocal major before COVID changed things. But while I was a vocal major, I was questioning, should I really be doing this? This is my passion. This is what I want to do. And I was at BYU, Idaho, and I went to devotional, and I sat in a spot I'd never sat in before. And it was really interesting because I'm pondering these things in my mind. And I'm noticing sign language. I'm noticing the people around me don't speak. Like even people right next to me don't speak. And I'm like, I didn't even know this section existed. But it went from should I to I get to real quick right in that moment. It's like I gave you a voice, go develop it. And so that journey has been really interesting because it has not been linear at all. And I'm still wondering when that's going to happen. But it really is something I go back to all the time when I start kind of whining and griping about things like, no, my body still does this. I get to do this. Or, I get to be a mom. Do I love being a single divorced mom? No. Did I love being at home mom? Yes. But hey, I'm a mom. And maybe if I went down some other path, I wouldn't get to be mom. So I'm going to appreciate what I have. And I'm also going to realize that sometimes what I have is what somebody else is praying for. Like we really need to have gratitude for what is available to us and what's around us and just work with what we have. And that's where comparing yourself is the thief of joy, because you miss out on what's meant for you. If you're so busy looking out there and not looking in here, you're going to miss what that was totally aligned. That was totally meant for you. I think it's really important as a mom to know how to do that, because if you don't model that for your kids, how are they going to know? If they don't see a mom who's in line, who's thriving, who's happy, or striving for it, like fighting for it, to get there, why would they? Like it's like that saying, like you can't tell your kids to go get their dreams and that they can have their dreams and you don't pursue yours. You can be there and support. And time and again, I am so surprised. Well, I'm not surprised anymore, but like, if you have great family, if you have somebody supporting you that's helping you with your goals, like understand how amazing and wonderful it is that you have those cheerleaders in your life. You have those people who support you, because time and time again, an athlete thanks a parent who sacrificed everything. A actor or actress thanks that theater teacher or that parent, or like that someone who changed their life. So here's the other part about being aligned with yourself. When you are aligned, there's a better chance that you are going to touch somebody's life who's waiting for you to show up. I think there's so much power in that goes back to, let's celebrate how unique and wonderful we all are, and that we're here to help and to support each other. So if you had advice for moms with your experience and with the work that you do, what kind of tips or strategies or advice would you give moms with the idea of coaching, transformation, that they could take from your work?
Well, in the joy-filled space, I just encourage moms and adults with children, it may not be moms, but I know most of your audience is moms, is to find those, maybe it's the 5 minutes to embrace the play.
Oh, I like that.
Play with your child or find something that you like to do. I'm like, play is so not just for kids.
Right? Yeah.
And you talked about having a support system. My husband, I used to refer to him as my biggest child, my oldest child who never leaves home, who dribbles on his shirt. But he's like my rock. And he puts up with a lot. We're in the grocery store and a good song comes on and I'm dancing with the grocery cart, and
go lady in aisle 8. Yeah.
I know. And, they used to, at first I'm like, oh, what? And I'm finding now people are like, it's a good song, isn't it? And they start smiling and doing a little movement. And I remember the years my kids have been out, and it's just been my husband and I for very, very long time right now. But I just remember the 5 minutes that you said, the 3, 2, 1 reset, just bring it to the moment, go outside. Habits, like if you're just doing them because you said you were going to do them, but they're not giving you what you wanted, whether it's slow your breathing down. You want some energy, do some jumping jacks with your kids. Yeah. Have them do a video with you, whatever it is. Find those moments. And then, like you said, 100% gratitude. Mm-hmm. Because you can go, well, yeah, we're better than them, or we don't have what they have. And that's all relative. That doesn't matter. You're here right now. You've been given tremendous gifts and graces. Sometimes it's hard to see them in the moment. Yep. I just want them all to know that they matter.
Yeah. And I love
And
what you just said, because I think we think about pride as like this bad thing. It's, and it can be. But what you talked about is when we put people above or below us in order to feel like we have value or that we matter, instead of seeing that we're all equal. You have gifts I don't have. I have gifts you don't have. We all have value. We all matter. And if we could get back to seeing that as a society, that everyone has something to contribute, what a difference that would make. Because instead of trying to, I don't know, impersonate other people or their success, or be something that isn't even real in a digital world, we're missing out on what we could become. And I think sometimes we put that pressure on our kids too. And it's important to realize that you need to just let them be whatever individual they are meant to be. And that's where I think faith comes in a lot, because God knows us and knows our kids better than we know ourselves, and knows where we're meant to go and where we're supposed to go. Because we can have chapters in life, I can attest to this, where you have no idea what the next step is going to be and nothing makes sense. And you were sure it was going to go this way, or you were sure that kid was going to turn out this way. And then they pivot and change their mind. And it could just feel like you're getting it all wrong every day, with yourself or with your kids or with a relationship, because we're human. But if we keep that perspective that we all are really equal, and not just, the saying to me comes like, we're equal in the eyes of God, but we're all God's children. I consider you my sister. I consider any male figure I come across as like my brother. And when I have that perspective, it's so much easier to see the good in people, or to get your resilient fix in 2026 with Coach Tiffany, now a nationally recognized certified personal trainer and also your high performance coach, host of the Resilient Mother podcast. You can now train with her in person or online. Just text TRAIN to 435-294-5456. You can also find her at the Sports Academy in Logan, Utah, or you can email her at resilientmomrising@gmail.com. We'll see you soon, resilient you. Strive to see it, or to realize you crossed my path for a reason. Now, I will say sometimes I'm in the store trying to keep a 5-year-old out of putting everything in the cart. So like, I'm not noticing everyone as well as I would like to. Let's be real. But I try my best, especially in social situations, to, be intentional with my energy and realize that we can create a vibration with each other, and we can either lift each other up or bring each other down. And depending on how we view each other, where we're at ourselves, and that can make a big difference in the world. That can have ripple effects. If you just touch one person's life, that person can go on to touch another person, to touch another person, to touch another person. And you just never know how one moment, one interaction, one smile when somebody was having a bad day and just needed cheered up can make a huge difference. Isn't that exciting? I mean, that's something we can all do every day. We can go out with that intention to do good for someone every day. And instead of try to copycat something or get more likes, or, make content that gets lots of views. If one person saw it and it made a difference for them, isn't that enough? Isn't it enough if you touch one life? So I don't know, little soapbox on that, but
yeah. And that's, I think another thing, maybe I'm going to give away a secret from the working with the coach. These things, these habits, these breakthroughs, these thoughts aren't super complicated.
Right.
Everything else in the world is so complicated. It's just that connection, what's inside. And it's like, oh, wow, okay, just one little thing. And, I remember in high school, what are you going to do with your life? Get to college, what are you going to do with your life? We can plan all that we want for as many years, and that's who knows what it's going to be. And So again, coming back, if you're confused, if you're overwhelmed with all the possibilities, with no possibilities, you don't know where to turn, it's just one step.
Yes.
One next step, because the clarity, which we all seek, which makes things easier, comes from taking an action. You have to do something. Very simple. Again, it's not complex. If I'm thirsty and I just sit here and think about being thirsty, I'm never going to get a glass of water. Mm-hmm. I can ask someone for help. Would you get me a glass of water? Which is a huge, brave, courageous step. I can get up and go to the refrigerator, but I got up. I moved. I took a little action. And someone's like, honey, that's so simple. Sitting and ruminating, again, I'm going back to all the swirls of the words in my head. That little action of getting up, I'm like one step closer to not being thirsty.
Yeah. Well, and I think our minds are so busy because we get so much thrown at us that, you think it's a thought, then it becomes an intention, it becomes an action. It almost seems like we have to step into action more in this generation and like almost ignore emotion, action first, emotion later to like get things going. I've noticed that with a few clients that I've had. I'm like, take the emotion out, do what you know you're supposed to do, and then see what happened with the emotion. But I think it's important to honor the emotions too and see why it's showing up. Because obviously your body's telling you you're thirsty. That's like a need. But if we have fear or we have something pop up we don't understand, our minds are trying to tell us something. We just can't let it derail us. Like we need to coach with somebody. We might need to do some psychology, some healing. But sometimes we can just look at it and go, do I want to keep it or do I want to let it go? Does it have a purpose? Do I recognize what it told me? Does it serve me or does it not serve me? And there's so much power in our brain that like the way we talk to ourselves is so important.
Yeah. The power of the mind. I wish there was like a whole nother person of me that could just study how all of that works up there.
Right.
And the emotions can derail the logic, So it's like, yep, I'm feeling really scared. Okay. I'm not going to die. Nobody's going to die. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing it anyway.
That's not helpful anymore. Stop doing that, brain. We are okay. We are safe. We are fine. There's no tiger here. Why are you reacting that way? I'm going to move on now. Okay. Thanks. But no, thanks.
You kept me safe, but we're fine. Or what's the worst thing that can happen?
Yes.
And we can go into the catastrophizing. I think that's the word, like thinking of all
imagination for that. That's a problem over here. So, I was an actor in theater and like my imagination's wild. So sometimes I have to go, okay, is that even rational? Is that true? Is it I question my mind a lot, but because it goes different places.
But on the flip side though, which seems to be the non-preferred choice, what if?
Yes.
I did this.
Yeah.
What could that lead to? Oh my gosh, I had no idea. I mean, I'm living proof. I never would have ever imagined that I moved across the country after being here for 2 weeks. We were here for a week. We bought a house. We closed. We went up north, packed our stuff, came back.
That's a leap of faith.
No way. Doing something that I'm doing right now, sitting on a podcast, never would have thought that would happen. Amazing. But I gave myself like, what matters to me? What do I want to do? And so it's on the same, you can go down or you can go.
Way. Yeah. Lately saying, well, if you can sit there and ruminate, why not ruminate on the possibilities? Why not ruminate on the, and that's it though. Like, and that's the fascinating thing about the brain too, that you mentioned is like the negative and the positive are often in the same place in the brain, but they can't be there at the same time. So we're literally choosing between the two all day long. The problem is we don't always realize they're both available. Like, we'll feel the emotion first, which is a biological reaction, and then have that mean something instead of go, oh, that's a biological reaction. What do I want to decide about it? So, especially as women, right? Because we're here, there, everywhere, especially one time during the month, my teenagers. But yeah, that's just being a woman. So sorry, men.
Oh gosh, yes. And the other, fear and excitement, like you said, can't feel them at the same time physically. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm going for excitement. This is going to be fun. I'm going to learn something. I'll feel something maybe I've never felt before.
And doesn't that feel so much lighter when you choose that? Like it just keeps that possibility open. Or it seems like the safety thing with us, like tries to keep us small and kind of in a box and like in what's familiar. But really just outside of that choice, that one next person you meet, that one next decision is just closer to that new life that you thought. Was that saying you're one choice away from changing your life? Mm-hmm. And that can sometimes come up in coaching. I love when somebody gets a breakthrough and there's just I recently had someone I'm beta coaching and they had this aha moment. We had this one subject kept coming up and coming up and coming up and coming up as a block. And we finally figured out where it was coming from. And like, I knew he was excited because he was texting me like, I figured it out. This is da, 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 da. And like, he'd never done that in any of our other sessions. And I was just like, so happy. And like, the next session was different. There was a lot more momentum moving forward now because like the weight of that had been dropped. And I think that's what a lot of it is sometimes we're carrying this backpack full of things and we need a little help figuring out, well, I don't need that anymore. I don't need that anymore. I want to get up that mountain and I ain't going to get up there with all of this. So.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like the little steps, like I had, and still do, like breakthrough. And then there's the times where all of a sudden I'm just like, wow, this is my life.
Yeah.
Like, what? How did this? And I can't articulate like a specific event or a specific thought or a specific anything. It was just this choice and this choice and this choice and all those little choices. And then it was like, some days I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my life.
Yeah.
How cool is this?
Because you figured it out. Now you want to do it for everybody else. So it's not just I have this theory of how we are going to help you. It's I've lived it. I've done it.
Yes.
It's so much and for someone who has lived through it, who's been through the trenches, because then you really feel it and you feel like somebody's in it with you and that they really get you. And so I think that's the difference between people that are in coaching now versus some that were just in for the marketing and it was popular and it was an easy thing to do. And so the ones that are sticking it out now are showing who they really are and who their hearts are and that we're here to serve because we really see the benefit of this work, whether we've done it for ourselves or we've just come into it and seen the massive shifts and the massive change, the transformation that it's made in people's lives. That once we unlock this and we get things lined up and we're balanced with our heart and our mind, the possibilities are endless. Like I think it comes to that scripture of my cup overfloweth when we really allow things to line up and God can bless it and be like, okay, you're finally ready and you're finally in the place I want you to be. Here you go. I've been waiting.
Yes, 100%. And that I have on my mission statement up here, I want everybody to figure out what their joy is, what matters to them, so that even with challenges, I'm still filled with this joy and this purpose and this desire. I want people to experience that. And it will be different for everybody because everybody's different. And so it's not this tangible, lose 10 pounds, buy this iPhone. It's this inner calm with overflowing excitement all at the same time. And like, if I can help one person, then like you said, there's that ripple effect. How are they going to treat their spouse? How are they going to treat their children, their community, their coworkers? And if it just keeps going, then like, hopefully we could have like a happier, joy-filled, kinder
world
in this planet.
Well, what I love about what you just said is all these things we're talking about, once you figure them out, no one can take them away from you. Nothing and no one can take away what you develop in your personal development. It's yours, your knowledge you gained, how you get back no matter what gets thrown your way, you get back up. You know what works for you to get you back up. And there's just no stopping you after that. And so I think that's why we enjoy the work. I think that's why we've chosen to be coaches. And who knows, maybe Connie is a coach for you. And if that's the case, Connie, where can they find you?
You can find me. I will, on the show notes, I'm always welcome to a coffee chat. It's just 30-minute conversation. Like we said, just start asking some questions. I also have a gift for your listeners. And if we could put that in the show notes, it's conniecotter.com/wonder. And so it's 13 ways to cultivate your sense of wonder. Ooh. So if you need the 3-2-1 reset is in there, which we talked about, but just little things, and tag it on and create your own thing. Your joy and success doesn't necessarily have to be tied to your job. Yeah. It can be a hobby that you just totally lights you up. And so 13 ways to cultivate your sense of wonder. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. I have a free Facebook group. It's called Beyond the Good Life. So yeah, if you're wanting to go beyond good, if your life is good, if you're wanting that little bit more, we go beyond to whatever you want to call it. It can be great. It can be awesome. It can be fantastic. It can be spectacular, whatever it happens to be.
You make me think of into infinity and beyond.
Yes. Whatever you want it to be.
Sorry. It's actually just in a classroom where that was the prompt for the kids to pay attention was to infinity, and the kids said and beyond. It was the funnest day that way because we had some other silly ones too, and I'm like, I'm totally stealing that when I teach something.
Awesome.
And kids do. Kids are full of that wonder. And I think if you have children, you get this, they bring back that sense of curiosity and everything in the world is new. We need to get back to that as adults at some point, that this is a new day. We've been given another day for a reason. We're meant to go figure out what that is all about and experience the joy in the journey and along the way. Thank you, Connie, so much for being here. Thank you, audience. Please let us know what you liked, what other subjects you'd like to hear about. And we will see you on the next episode of the Resilient Mother Podcast.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Please don't forget to subscribe so we can share this message. We are a worldwide podcast with guests all around the world, and we want to continue to grow this community. You can find us on socials. You could also be a guest. Look for that link below if you'd be interested in being a guest on the podcast. If you know a sponsor or would like to be a sponsor, please reach out to me or Catherine as well.
Sure. We want you all on this journey. We want to hear your stories. We want to share your stories. We want to gain strength from each other because together we're stronger. And to never forget the blessing of being a mother and what we're creating. We're creating the future every single day of our lives. So get on this train with us and let's do this thing, moms.
I believe in you. Believe in yourself. God bless. And we'll see you around. Take care.
Do you just feel stuck? It's the new year. You expected some change, but the motivation, the momentum, it's just not there and you can't figure out why? Well, you might want a life coach. Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm a certified high performance coach and have been for about 3 years now. And I can get people results in small mini coaching sessions. Give me 30 minutes of your time. Let me show you how you can get a breakthrough and transformation by having someone help you see what you can't see and hear what you might not be hearing in your own words and in your own story. You're the author of your story. Let me help you take back your pen and start writing the story you actually want to create, to thrive in your life and feel alive. Text coach to 435-294-5456 or shoot me an email over at resilientmomrising@gmail.com. We've got the solution for you.